Hey everybody, Scott here for the Digital Guitar Playground. It's Friday. What happened to the rest of the week? Well, things. First, on Wednesday I was going to do a video with the Podgo into the Amp 1, but there's no MIDI anything on the back of the Podgo. Boy, is my face red. Whoops, not using that. So, on my mission to find the perfect effect unit / switcher MIDI-wise for the Amp 1, the search continues. It's not going to be the G system after all. It just doesn't have the MIDI capabilities. So I ordered a Boss MS3. It's got effects, it's got MIDI switching, it's got all the stuff I need. I believe it's going to be here this weekend, so I'm going to monkey around with that. And then on Wednesday and yesterday I just had really bad fatigue, so I ended up sleeping a lot of the day. It's just the situation. It's what I deal with. And then this showed up in the mail yesterday, which perked me up. And it's the BluGuitar Blubox. Perfect companion for the Blue Guitar Amp 1 because it's IRs, it's direct box. You can run one line out to the front of house using an IR. Use another, run another one into whatever cab you want on the stage. You can run headphones if you're just, playing stuff, really cool stuff. I'm going to demonstrate how I'm going to use this thing and how awesome I think it is. And it's going to be on the pedal board, that's for sure, because, why would you not want to combine a great IR with whatever cab you've got on stage and then have consistent sound? So as like a lot of people are doing with the aux box and the torpedo stuff, this is just easier to use. So, shall we?
Ow.
Alrighty, here we are with the Blue Guitar Amp 1 and the Blubox. Now, the way I'm connected is the input is coming from the speaker out on the Blue Guitar Amp 1. The through is going to my cabinet. The line out is going to the Helix. And then the interface, it's coming back over to my Mac here via the USB. So this is the sound of the cabinet. And this is the Blubox. This is the combination of the two on this particular cab setting, which is the Tweed 1x12. And I've also got the center, the mic position put right in the center, so it's the brightest it can get. And the reason for that, now, let's go back to just the Blubox, and I've got them panned. They're coming out of the Helix left and right so that I can combine the two onto a single stereo track in GarageBand. It's just an easier way to record this than going into the Zoom H4n and then having to process it later. This way, it's already done. So, on this particular, we can roll that back to the neutral position. And it sounds more like my cab, but I didn't want it to sound like my cab. I like to combine the two and get a more full and unique sound. That's the whole reason for today's video. I'll shoot a video next week that goes through all of the settings, and you can listen to all the cabs. Today is just my favorite for clean and my favorite for crunch stuff, and then how I'm using them. Combining the two. Now we're combining the two. I have the boost on the clean channel with some with the reverb on, and I'm set on the low input so that I can turn up the master of the amp one, and I think it sounds great. Now let's go to a crunch sound. So we're going to use the, what do you call it? The vintage sound. We're going to grab a different cab here, one that I like, which is the 1965 4x12. And then this is just my cab, so not hearing this at all yet. Now the Blubox. It's a little bit quieter, I mean a lot quieter, and I can turn this position. I need to compensate over at the Helix for this kind of thing, but it's like, you know, I would not do it this way in a live situation, so it doesn't really matter. Now, both. Pretty slick. There you go, everybody. The preset I'm using with the Helix as my interface is super simple. I've just, the top signal path is the, what is it? The auxiliary input, which is right here, coming out of the line out of the Blubox. And then the bottom one is the mic input. That's coming from the ISO cab. So we get a fun combination of those two sounds. I'm going to use this for recording this weekend. I will come back on Monday and demonstrate what I have done. It's going to be great. To do the, you know, A-Bing, I've put a gain block right here, or a volume block, and it's basically just there as a stop, you know, like a, because what it does is, oh, can't do that. It's negative 120 dB, and then when it's bypassed, I need to assign it to some switches, make life easier. But when it's bypassed, it lets the signal through, so only one can have the signal through, or both paths can have the signal through, blah, blah, blah. So that's how I'm doing that. Very cool stuff. I am thoroughly into this thing. Can't wait to get the Boss MS3 next, and, you know, continue my quest on the perfect pedal board with the Amp 1. I was hoping it would be this, but sadly no. What are you gonna do? I'll keep it around, do fun stuff with it from time to time. Maybe. We'll see. I was really hanging my hopes on this thing working with the Amp 1, but it's just not gonna. So we'll see if the MS3 cuts it. So far, from what I've heard, it's a great option. I have since sold my HXFX and my GE250 and a bunch of other stuff that was lying around that I just wasn't using. I did some clearing of the house. HX Stomp might be next because I really like the Pod Go as far as a small, compact unit for using with the silent guitar. I'm going to keep the Pod Go for that, and not the HX Stomp. Call me crazy. Anyway, I will be back on Monday, God willing. And until then, rock on.